Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Just wanted to share with you a bug out survival watch option that I thought was, that I've used for about 2 years now, and it's done me quite well. Before I do that, I just want to send a shout out to Mosaicmaster 1. Now, he has embarked on a mission to make a bug out survival watch of sorts, and he has all sorts of implements on there, like a fire starter and cordage, compass, and stuff like that. So he's inspired me to look at the watch a bit more and perhaps try to augment mine in the way that he did his, which I am going to do at some point. I just thought I'd share the base model with you. Let's try to focus that for you. So this is so I just want to send out a shout out to him, I should say, beforehand. Check out his channel. He has a lot of innovative ideas with respect to technology, and he actually puts them into practice. He really tries to, he lives on a remote island, so he sort of has to make do with what he has, and he does a lot of things by hand, and he's sort of a prepper engineer of sorts. So shout out to you, brother. Go check out his channel. Okay, so I was talking a bit about this G-Shock shock resistant watch. Now, for one, it's shock resistant. It's G-Shock, so not only is it a very rugged sort of design, but it's also shock resistant. So in such case that you did, get a zap of static electricity, sometimes that can damage digital watches. Now, there's a digital and an analog component to this watch, and whenever I buy something, I try to buy it for longevity. I try to buy it, I try to consider how long it's going to last, especially if it's something, with EDC capabilities such as this. Now, this watch, you can't really see it, but I guess you kind of can see it. In the background there on the face, that's actually a solar panel. This back face right here is a solar panel. So this watch from Casio is guaranteed for, I believe it's 10 years. Now hopefully it will last longer than that, but 10 years for $100 watch isn't really a bad deal, and it's solar powered, like I said. It also has an atomic function, so it's linked up to an atomic clock, so the time is always accurate. And actually, if you can select world times from the various time zones of the world, and you can just select that time zone. It's not working right now because I'm downstairs and it needs satellite reception, but this does connect to a satellite, and the analog hands will, it's kind of neat to see, they just start turning on their own, and every once in a while it will recalibrate itself according to that atomic time. So it's just a very, I think it's a great buy for somebody of the prepper mindset who's, doesn't want to have to buy batteries or wind something up that, it has all your typical functions. There is no, now with the advent of smartwatches, you're probably, you probably could find things that have temperature gauges and built-in compasses, but of course that's something I'm going to implement into this afterwards. You could probably find things that have GPS compatibility. Now, the reason why I don't like LED screens is because they do have a tendency to fail, which is not to say that the analog moving parts couldn't fail either. They could. I just have more faith in analog than I do digital. I guess that's just me. But the problem with the GPS watches is that they run out of power rather quickly. Now, some people know you don't need a compass to gauge direction if you have a watch. And that's why a watch is important. For one, it is a compass. If you know how to, if you have sunlight, you can determine, plus or minus a few degrees, which way is north and which way is south. And of course, east and west. The other advantage to having time in the instance of a grid down situation is that it can be quite advantageous from a strategic point of view. You know, time is a great invention, and your ability to organize around time is going to give you many advantages with respect to strategizing your pursuits. The guy in The Walking Dead, Dale, they sort of laughed at him for wearing his watch. But for him, you know, time was indicative of civilization. It was a reminder of, you know, what we were as a species. And so, in a lot of ways, a watch not only has a strategic function, it may also have a sentimental function, but definitely more so with respect to its strategic function. So this watch will run indefinitely for the most part, so long as I take care of it, and so long as the warranty is good. Now, even if the analog fails on this, there is still the digital. So the digital will still keep time, or vice versa. So that's a good, that's what I like about it. As you can see there, of course, made in China. What isn't? Water resistant, all that kind of stuff. I've never had to open it up. The screws latch on there pretty tight. And I've taken this in water. I've taken it, you know, I've taken it out into the bush many times. It's been exposed to a lot of heat, and I've never had any issues with it. I don't know if I really need to show you. Okay, now it's midnight, so it's beeping. But let me see if I can get the... Okay, so that's Cairo. Let's see if we can switch it to Jerusalem time. No, that's not how I do it. Usually you could just do that and it should adjust. But it could be because it's quite possibly because we're downstairs and it's not working. Anyways, you can see this little bar there that's lit up. That indicates the power of the battery. Now, I've never actually, I don't really expose this. I mean, I should say expose it to a lot of sunlight, but, you know, there's many times where I'll go days without exposing it to light. So it doesn't need a whole lot of light to charge it, which is a great thing about this watch. And I've never had it die on me. I've never had it... and the great thing about it is even if it does die, it has that atomic time function, so right when it reboots, it will latch onto a satellite and reset itself. So the G-Shock shock resist, it's worked for me, and I'm going to modify it at some point as Mosaicmaster did. Just another one of my projects I have on the back burner here. So let me know what you think about survival watches and whether or not they're worth the time. I mean, I'm going to wear it anyways, so it might as well be something which will stand the test of time and be rugged enough to perhaps survive any sort of grid down situation. Let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. Canadian Prepper out.